Hello, beautiful people. This is Abdullah Abu Bakr. I am a Global UGRAD Pakistan Spring 2024 candidate. This video is all about UGRAD interviews. First of all, I want to say congratulations to those who got shortlisted for Global UGRAD Pakistan 2024 and those who didn't receive the call from USEFP. I know it's so difficult for you guys, but if you have another chance, must go for it. And if you don't have a chance, don't worry. Allah always has better plans for you. Let's move to our topic. So the first thing to prepare for the interviews is English. I know that the Global UGRAD Pakistan does not require you to have very good English, but still you should be able to understand and speak the English. So there are two parts of improving your English in that few days from you get the call and you have the interview day. The first one is understanding the American accent English, and the second one is to speak the English. The first one is so important because if you don't get the questions of the people in the panel, you will not be able to answer them correctly, and that will affect your selection. And remember that in the interviews, if you did not understand any question, just ask them to repeat it. Don't go for silly answer if you do not understand the question. So the question is that, how can you work on that part? You can watch the American accent movies and documentaries without the subtitles, because in the interviews there will be no subtitles. The second thing is speaking. We know that we have had English subjects from our childhood, but still most of the Pakistanis cannot speak English because it's not our first language. Don't worry, you can practice it. You can speak English with your brothers, with your friends, with your family, and improve it. Believe me, it will only get improved if you speak it. Otherwise, it's not gonna be improved. It took me only a few days from my call to the interviews to improve my English speaking and understanding. Now we're coming towards the interviews. Remember that you are not going to any government job interviews here in Pakistan. You are going to United States Education Foundation in Pakistan. So that will not be a big deal for you guys. They have a very friendly panel for interviews. So relax about the interview environment. You'll have a panel of people for interviews that will include a Pakistani person, a psychiatrist, and an American person. Mostly the Pakistani and American person ask you the question. And then comes the duration. So don't get nervous if a person have 5 minutes interview and other person have 30 minutes interview. The time duration of interview does not depend upon selection. So the first step was to improve your English. The second step is to be confident on yourself. If they shortlisted you, you have something special. I will tell you guys like a bit questions that I have been asked and a few tips. The first tip is prepare an introduction of yourself, because they're mostly gonna start the interviews with introduce yourself or tell us more about yourself. So you have to introduce yourself. That must be started with your name maybe or not. It's up to you. But like you should not tell them that where are you born and where you studied and all these. They know these all information from your application. You must tell them the things that are not written in your statement of purpose. So you tell them your academic goals, your field related goals, your volunteer work, your designations in different societies, and your hobbies maybe. So you can add them and make your beautiful introduction. And it must be started with some picky words that I am an extrovert and this student. So that makes your introduction more attractive. After that, you must focus on your statement of purpose. Like there are few questions that are repeated every year. Other than that, every person is evaluated in a unique way according to your statement of purpose. They're gonna ask you questions from your SOP, like if you have started your SOP with a story, because like most of the students start their SOP with some story that they are from a remote area and they move to city to study. So if you have mentioned any type of story like this, you should be able to explain that. They can ask that 4 questions of SOP from you again to see that are you the same person or not. If you have written something in your SOP, stick to it. Now I'm talking about my interview. It was around 30 minutes and it was on February 3rd, 2023. So I have been asked so many questions from my SOP, and most of them were about my volunteer work. As I am founder and CEO of an NGO, Isarul Ibad Foundation, so they asked me so many questions about that and the activities that I have written. After that, I have been asked questions about my rabies work, as I am a community coordinator for rabies, certified by Global Alliance for Rabies Control, GARC. 80% of the questions they asked me were about me, and my volunteer work. Don't worry, if you have not lied in your SOP, this will not be difficult for you. Have you traveled somewhere or not? And like, how are you adaptable to the traveling? So you must answer positive in these type of questions. About my strength and my weaknesses, why you chose DVM, how will you present your culture in United States of America? You must prepare for that question too. How will you survive in the cultural shock of America? After 5 years, where are you seeing yourself? Why should we select you? So prepare a good answer for that. And they mostly ask this question, that why you want to go to USA. So the questions I told you in the end, these are mostly the most asked questions, but these are only 20 to 30%. Maximum part of the question, that will be from your SOP. So don't just rely on these type of questions. I will make videos on Global UGRAD Pakistan starting from interviews to the end now, and then I will come back to what is Global UGRAD Pakistan and how to write SOP. So stay tuned for more videos about Global UGRAD Pakistan.